This is part 2 of the Spiritual Tea Report, Cardi and the Twins. And I explained why I call them the twins. You need to look at part 1 of this report because I get into how Stefon and Offset have very similar features, which came to the conclusion that Cardi is definitely has that type. She has a type. And she has so much of a type that Stefon Diggs is a Sag, but he's Sag number 1, and Offset is Sag 3, because you have a zodiac signs break up in 3 sections, uh, of different types. So not all Sagittarius are the same. You know how Scorpios love to say that the real Scorpios are of November. Yes, there are different types of zodiac signs. So we're going to get into Cardi B's relationship with Stefon Diggs. I'm going to start doing some digging into their love and compatibility. Cardi B is a Libra. Her birthday is uh, October the 11th, 1992. And her soul contract numbers are 1113. And Stefon Diggs, his birthday is November the 29th, 1993. And his soul contract numbers are 11114. And of course, he's a Sag. So this is a Sag and a Libra relationship. So we're looking at somebody who's having fun. And that's what you've been seeing Cardi and Stefon doing, is that they've been having a lot of fun together. And Libra and Sag are playful type of people. They're very social people. So, you see her out. They go to games. They do a lot together. They are having this fun. But I'm looking at their numbers. And of course, the numbers break down in how they nurture each other, which is the month. Then how they think together. That's the sun. And how they naturally are this year for 2025 is back into their natal energy because it's the year of 9. So their earthly energy is basically their natal energy. So we're going to get into these 3 aspects, and then we're going to go into Offset and Cardi. And I don't know if I'm going to break this all up because, sometimes people have ADHD and don't like to follow everything all the time. So I break it up into parts so you can get your little taste of the tea and then come back when you need to. So let's get into Stefon and Cardi and see if there is a lasting relationship for these two. How they nurture each other is really about their identity. And I could see that Cardi really loves this nurturing energy. When they come into this partnership, he really allows her to be herself. And Stefon, he loves Cardi's energy. He loves to have that around him. And that's why you see them, having fun together, because he loves that energy that she has. But there's these times where he needs that control. He kind of has that need for control, like Offset. You got to look at part 1. Because I'm seeing some similarities with Offset and Stefon, where Cardi will let him take the lead. She's cool with that, as long as the lead feels like she's respected for who she is. Then her and Stefon can get along with each other. Now, how they think, they come together in a union. They really think alike because they're both dealing with 11. So they're both born on the day of 11. So they like to learn from each other. They like to teach each other stuff. This is somebody who's going to come together and could even be the type that would go to school together and actually be good classmates. But in this thing, they learn business from each other, and they understand the psyche of each other. As long as they have some type of schedule, they're good. So that schedule may be, hey, I'll see you bi-weekly, or let's get together and let's learn this together. If I was talking to Stefon and Cardi, I would tell them to always choose something like if they go on a date, let it be something that they're learning, something that they never learned before, and they can learn it together, because that would really help them, come together with their minds, even if it was like an escape room type of thing. That would really test them on how they work in a partnership. And now, earthly, how they are together is still this. I'm only concerned about this is there's this battle. And you know how Libras, you're weighing the scales. So if the scales are off balance, then they can flip. I see this energy of Cardi when she's going back and forth with Offset. She flips where Stefon has to get her back into her being. He has to help her almost, it's almost like spiritually he's good for her to help her transition from this state of what she's been with Offset. She's been with Offset for a long time. So spiritually she needs somebody to help her to learn herself again and see a difference within her life. And he's bringing that to her as him teaching her to be herself. Come back to who is Cardi? What does Cardi like to do to have fun? Because she's in a very energetic state. Cardi's in a state where the energy could go up really high for her. And when that energy is going up, she needs that grounding. And it's good that Stefon would be able to give her that grounding energy, but he is picking up all this energy. And sometimes with all that energy, he needs to have some type of state of control so he won't feel like she's flipping on him or she keeps changing on him. So as long as he's keeping her stable when she's going in this back and forth with Offset, or even just her twists and turns of being a Libra, if Stefan can help her just keep having a good time, but also keep some type of structure to it, they're going to be fine this year. Next year is a different story. I'm looking at 2026 for these guys, and this is where I'm going to say this. I could see Stefon and Cardi breaking up by next year. Whatever's going on, it's more than likely going to be over with by 2026. So, he's here for a good time, not a long time. But from what I'm seeing with the numbers for 2026, they won't be together for too long because Cardi will be getting more into needing structure. She may need that control. And if he's not heard, if Stefon's not heard, he's not going to want to stick around. He needs her to understand that, there needs to be some type of order. And she more so will be focused on her career and her family. And that's where we get into Offset. So stay tuned for that. So I almost forgot that I mentioned that Stefon Diggs is a portal child. He is at the soul contract numbers of 1111. And with portal people, I said this about Rihanna. You can probably see that on my TikTok. But there's a lot of celebrities that are portal people. And they require certain things. He would need to have three things intact for him to fulfill his contract. You sign out, or you basically make a contract before you come here to Earth. I'm able to do a reading through numerology and tell you about that. And when I talk to portal people, I usually tell them that they need three things to fulfill their contract. And that is them finding their mate early. Usually somebody like him, probably already that woman is around. But more than likely it's not Cardi B. That's why I wanted to circle back around and talk about him being this portal person. He more than likely already has maybe even had a child with that woman. I know he has a daughter, but I don't know with who, so I can't look at the numbers. But I do know that he finds love early. Most portal people already know that they should have a family and find love early. And then they also should have an entrepreneurship type of job, something that is of their own, that they're building. And that he probably, his business is him being an athlete. So more than likely, this was leads into the third thing. You need to have three children because the middle child is usually your special child. So more than likely that child will end up being an athlete, the middle child, because that person who's a portal child usually gives the middle child all the things that, they're good at, that they specialize in. And of course, he specializes in football. So he can end up giving that to that person, to that middle child. And then he's also a natural teacher. He definitely can teach this child. So he's equipped for that middle child and all three of the children, of course. But the middle child will play a special focus for a portal person. So just, going back to Stefon Diggs and Cardi B, I don't see it lasting because he needs something. He needs somebody in his life. Once he gets over, he's 31. So he's out of his Saturn's return. So he can definitely settle down. If you want to look at. I'm for time's sake, I'm not going to get all into Saturn's return. Look it up. He's out of it. Um, so he should be able to settle down soon, and it would be a great time for him to focus on family because, again, he should have already had this started, and whoever's around him more than likely is the one.